Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Pub Sports Talk. I am one of your co-hosts, Evan Fitzsimmons, and with me is Parker Hackey, Tim Farner, Jay Gray, and we're going to be hitting you with a lot of NFL football at the halfway point of the season, giving our predictions on MVP, defensive MVP, rookies, coaches, and all the goods, looking at record chasing and stuff like that. But before we do that, we got MLB, a little bit NBA, a little bit of college. No better way to start off number 77. How about with some NBA in honor of Luka, number 77? Let's jump right into NBA.
Hey, I love it. NBA, haven't been following a lot. I don't know about you guys. Probably need to follow it a little bit more, but just looking at early standings, DC coming out of nowhere. Where has DC been? Chicago Bulls lighting things up in the East. On the West Coast, oh yeah, Old Faithful. Golden State's back, baby. Splash Bros. They're coming in strong. And then the Suns picking up right where they left off last season. Those four teams are dominating early on. It's like the NHL. We talk about it every week. It's early on, but these teams are starting hot. And to me, the biggest surprise is Washington. What about you guys?
I mean, I think Steph is back. It's easy to forget how good Steph Curry is and the Warriors in general. But they've got some young talent. Gary Payton, is it the third? I can't remember. But the rookie is lighting it up with Steph. So it's a dangerous Golden State team, not only with their vets and Steve Kerr obviously coaching, but you've got some young talent around them. So that's definitely a team that's just interesting. And then how about on the far left there, the Caruso in Chicago? I think they've just got a great chemistry with Levine and DeRozan and Caruso, but don't sleep on the Chicago Bulls this year at all.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And I'm surprised he didn't go somewhere where weed was legal, because that's what he got busted for in last offseason. But hey, he's doing great things over in Chicago. Tim, Jay Gray, I know you guys don't follow NBA. You're like me. Anything stick out to us? Any other team that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun to see just I don't watch a lot of NBA, but it's been fun to see the headlines with Chicago. I feel like in the offseason when we saw these names getting thrown around, Lonzo, DeRozan, Caruso, it was kind of like the sixth and seventh men up on each team coming together. And I think they kind of took that personally and are starting to take it out on some competition and really starting to gel well. It's really fun to see these players just kind of be able to all come together like a real team. It's not one person leading, it's the conglomeration, which is really nice to see. Tim, I don't know if you saw this the other night, but the number one pick that went to, I think, Detroit was having it out with the number 2 pick. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know much. I was actually just looking at some of the details. I don't know. Do you know why they were scrapping? Was it just...
No idea, but It sounds like some good drama to come.
I can dig it. The little I've watched of Cade, I was actually going to drag the Pistons through the mud a little bit. But, Cade, I'm very hopeful. Now, the whole organization is they're doing terrible right now. But Cade is very promising, and I do like that he's scrappy. I like that fight, that Motor City. We got to get that. We got to get it in the Lions. We got to get it in Detroit. We got to get it Tigers. We got to get it everywhere because Detroit, the sports teams in the whole city, just no bueno lately.
No, he's scrappy. He's a talented young man. Can we throw out an Isaiah Thomas comparison there?
We'll see. I don't know. Isaiah.
Too early. Okay, I get it. Too early.
Yeah, Isaiah could really back it up, though. We'll see what Cade does in the NBA, but yeah, that's a little. I don't know.
All right, touche. Jay Gray, big Hornets fan. You're over there in the Charlotte area. They're doing pretty well right now. Knock on wood. It's early in the season, but they're in that top 10 in that playoff threatening range, and there's a lot of young talent. That's a young team, but they seem to be clicking right now. And it's early and it's often, and they're balling out.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fun to always see Charlotte and North Carolina teams do well. I'm really upset the ticket prices haven't come down anymore. But again, like we've already played Golden State at home, and that's going to be a big ticket item with Steph being from Charlotte. So hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll be able to sneak out to one of those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night games and cheer on the Hornets. But yeah, I live in Charlotte. I've kind of adopted them because, I mean, it's always fun when the local team does well. But the most recent in NBA news I got is it time to panic because the Celtics are 500? 14
Yeah.
games in. I'm like, no, it's 14 games in. So
Exactly. That team is still learning. They're still gelling. They need a couple player only meetings, and they're going to get right. It's Boston. They're going to get right. Offensive leaders, real quick. KD, Steph Curry duking it out within 0.1 of points per game averaging. 28.9, 28.7. Sorry, I'm wrong on my math. So 0.2 off. But those guys have been lighting up. Defense, Rudy Gobert, light out. Jokic and his brothers are ready to scrap with anybody. They're leading the rebounds in the block comparisons. And then CP3 assisting like it's 1998 for him out there. He's still deucing it up. But that's just a real quick NBA rundown. Anything else we want to talk about? Cool. We're going to move in straight into baseball. Not a lot of stuff, but the big news. Noah Steinengard. He has been sitting out with Tommy John surgery for the past 2 seasons, kind of been off and on. Really well rested. He should be back 100%. Just signed a 1-year, $21 million contract to go to Los Angeles. To go to the Angels. So, going to be wild. Going to be crazy. Angels might be dangerous this coming up season.
They're like the Rams of the MLB right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like it. Hopefully he's got a better impact than OBJ.
yeah, I really like this. Honestly, the best comment that I saw on this picture was Thor returns to Asgard, and I'm about it. It's going to be really, really fun to watch the Angels next season. I just hope they can hold it together. I mean, it's going to take some pressure off of Ohtani, which I think is huge. I think it's going to help him perform even better. Trout, of course, is Mike Trout. As we heard Jeremy Doughty say a few episodes ago, like, you can't prepare for the man because he's already over prepared for you. So it's going to be really, really fun to watch the Angels. And I think anything less of at least the playoffs will be a disappointment for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Tim, anything to add to it? Big baseball guy.
Yeah, well, I haven't looked at the data recently on pitching. And so typically, especially with young athletes, like I'm talking children, typically after a surgery like Tommy John's, their speed actually increases because that UCL ligament is actually reinforced. And so, I don't know how it extends to the pros, and I don't care enough about the sport to really dive into, post rehab for Tommy John's and the numbers on the pitches. But I mean, 1 year, 21 million, kind of like what you guys were saying. They're pretty much putting all the eggs in the basket here, and it's going to be interesting to see how his pitching has changed, pre and post surgery. I'm betting faster if it's on the data. Let's just assume that he's going to be swinging that thing around a little tighter, a little faster.
I love when he swings it around harder, faster, tighter. That's absolutely awesome. No, that's awesome. 1 year, 21 million. I played the wrong sport growing up. Like soccer. I look at soccer stats. I'm like, golly, man, we played the wrong sport growing up. But hey, shout out to him. Other breaking baseball news. This literally just came across the ticker. Brewers. Corbin Burns gets the NL Cy Young Award. The vote came down to 151 to 141. Really tight race. He was in there with Zach Wheeler from the Phillies, but just announced 30 minutes ago. Corbin Burns for the Brewers gets the NL Cy Young. So that's another ace that's probably going to be worth a lot of money come next couple seasons.
Another ace that's worth quite a bit. And Tim, I'm surprised you didn't bring this up. Verlander. Back to the Astros.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which that's huge for them. They needed that.
Yeah, it's my boy. He's one of my pitchers. pitched great for Detroit. Was pitching great for the Astros. Thanks for bringing that up, Jenny. It just slipped my mind, so I'm glad you brought that. Thank you.
I got you. That's why you keep me around.
Tim, how much did he sign for?
He doesn't really talk about the big money, but we all know it's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Love it. Let's move. Let's move into college football. Then we'll hop into pros. A lot of pro talk today. We're at the halfway through part of the season. You heard Fitz. We're going to do early coach of the year, MVP, all that stuff. But let's go into college football real quick. Key matchups, week 12. Michigan State traveling the horseshoe, number 7 versus number 4. Then you got Wake Forest at Clemson, SMU at Cincinnati, Oregon at Utah, and Louisiana at Liberty. Power 5 matchup there. Had to throw them in their big game. Doesn't hurt their conference record, but just could help them in the bowl rankings coming up. Any of those games that really intrigue us that we're looking forward to there?
So the first game, Michigan State, Ohio State. Does the winner of that game get the playoff bid, or do you think if Michigan State wins, it could still be somebody else?
Yes and no. They still have to play the Big Ten championship.
Okay.
So I would say should Ohio State win, they still need to beat Michigan. Yeah.
Okay.
Should Michigan State win, I think their last game might be Minnesota, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe it's Penn State. It's one of those two. Maybe it's Wisconsin. But
I'm sorry, Jake Ray. I don't know what just happened.
You about got Thanos snapped out of here.
But that side of the conference has all the powerhouse. So whoever represents, one of them's like the legends and the leaders, which are the most stupid conference names ever. But whoever represents the other side, that Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State side, Michigan side should throttle. Should is the key word.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a conversation that the committee is going to have is if Michigan State wins here, what does that spell for the rest of the Big Ten? But yeah, absolutely. Any other game that really sticks out to us?
Are y'all ready for it? So I think those top 4 games, the Michigan State, Wake Forest, SMU, Cincinnati, I think the SMU Cincinnati game, that's going to be the game that if Cincinnati comes out and wins convincingly, that's going to put them in the top 4. SMU is 8-2. I don't know who they've lost to, but they're 8-2. So that's probably some of the toughest competition that Cincinnati will have seen yet. I also really like Utah this week. I think if they're at home, it's a like 10:30 p.m. Eastern time kickoff. I really like Utah over Oregon this week, especially if all the Mormons show up and are cheering them on. So I'm there for it. But sip of death. And I never take my team in the sip of death. But despite being unranked, Clemson technically is still a favorite. But this week, Big Rob going to be there at Tigertown Tavern bright and early, 9 a.m. for that noon kickoff, drinking his PBR Bad Boy 24-ouncer, taking his shots of Fireball, and the Tigers are coming out on top.
Taking them, baby. I love it. Let's go. Sip of death. Goodbye. Wake the nation.
Clemson needs that statement win. Yes, it's Wake Forest. On paper, it shouldn't look like a statement win. But the boys are ready. And this is that game that they have. I mean, of course, we have South Carolina next week, but they're ready. They are so ready. I saw Skalski. He's just ready to eat some Demon Deacons off the bone. Also, it's just, I mean, it's going to be a fun game. If Clemson's defense can hold them to 17, 24 points, which is a big ask, but if they can hold them, I think Clemson has a chance. Dabo tried some things last week. Granted, they were playing UConn, but he tried some things last week. So a few trick plays, a few special packages. He put Phil Akuman, the backup, in there, and he played really well. So I think we got some tricks up our sleeves, and I think this is the game that our players are like, we're going out big. It's senior day. It's going to be a wild ride. Death Valley is going to be packed for that noontime We're drinking fireball shots. We're drinking PBR, and we are coming out with a win.
Let's go, Big Rob and Clemson faithful. Let's go.
Can I vote? We give Jay Gray the socials this week while she's.
I'll be
Heard
getting
her
ready.
dad.
Unfortunately, I won't be there. This usually is father-daughter game day, but I won't be there because I'll be at a wedding. Sorry.
Sorry, we'll give your dad the socials.
Yeah.
He can have. Yeah, we'll let Big Rob go live.
Big Rob and little Amy live at the Valley.
Let's go.
Amy's
Start
going
at
to be
9
throwing
o'clock.
rocks from the top of the L. It's going to be wild.
Yes. I'm here for it. Good sip of death pick. And your boy Brian had another little sip of death pick that he thinks is going to hit.
Oh, yeah. Brian, so B-Money, as he likes to be called sometimes. He really likes Michigan State over Ohio State. It's in Columbus. I'm not as convinced, but Ohio State could be looking forward to Michigan. I don't know.
Yeah, it could.
I would put money on Clemson before I put money on Michigan State. I'd also potentially put money on Utah. I do like the Utes this week.
Yeah. I'm with you. Utah has played inspired, and they got those numbers spray painted on their field for their fallen teammates.
Mm-hmm.
They play lights out at home, and I think it's for them. They got a little angels in the outfield there type of stuff. I'm here for it. I'm with you. I'm sold on Utah. Well, real quick with college football rankings came out last night. Good thing about doing a show on a Wednesday instead of Tuesday. Georgia still number one. I misspelled Georgia again. Damn it. Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State, Cincy round up the top 5 there.
How do you spell Georgia?
Wait, did I?
No, that's how you
No,
spell it.
I'm right. All right. Hey, I'm good. This is a good week,
I was
baby.
like-
This is a good week.
My man.
Hey,
I was
we're
like,
here.
I was like, I'm stupid if I
No.
think that's how you spell Georgia.
I just get so like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to misspell something this week. And I was like, oh, it's obviously Georgia. Here we go.
Great graphic.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I designed that. I feel pretty good about it. What do we say about the rankings? I mean, if you're Cincinnati, if you're any of these other teams, how do you feel about this?
Well, I think, as Jay Gary was pointing out, the SMU game, it feels like if that game is close, Cincy's not going to move up. And actually, like, can you make the argument that that someone would be bumped above them because, they only beat SMU 27-24 or something like that? Then it's like, okay, they're not as good as everyone's given them. So I think that's definitely the one thing to keep an eye on.
I think one of the either 2, 3, 4, and 5 is going to lose this week. One of those teams will lose. Alabama plays Arkansas. And if they don't play inspired ball like I've seen recently, granted, the last game I watched of them was the LSU game, and LSU hung in there for 3 quarters. If they play like that, Arkansas could come out and beat them. So
Yeah.
one of those
Absolutely right.
2, 3,
They
4,
could-
5 is going to lose.
Could be looking ahead to the Iron Bowl next week. Forget about Arkansas. Yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
They don't have the cupcake walk the week before, so.
I could see Cincy getting shafted again and like Michigan State beating Ohio State, and they literally will just like flip, and Cincy stays at 5. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that too.
I think Cincy has to win by at least 14 and above to move up if Ohio State loses or Oregon loses. It has to be convincing.
I agree. Cincinnati, not Spencer Rattler. I'm losing my mind. You have got to wake up. Stop sleepwalking through the conference. You need this. The country needs this. Wake up. Let's go.
Do it for the Power Fives.
5-time. Power 5. Let's go. Hey, that's it for college talk. Let's jump into pros. We got a lot of pro to talk, and I'm excited for it. We're going to hit that music. Let's get after it.
Oh, she's switching outfits on us.
Is that yes, that's such a throwback.
Oh my
We
god.
need more props. We need more outfit changes. Jay Gray gets it. All right. Let's just talk about last week's scores. Cluster again this week. I mean, I'm struggling. My bookie has taken a lot of money this past 2 weekends from me, and I blame the NFL. Tim, I got to give a shout out to your boys. Detroit didn't lose.
Let's go.
I think it's because I took them.
Jay Gray.
I'm the
You
good
got the
luck.
magic.
Thank you, Jay Gray. If you could just sprinkle that on again this week, that'd be wonderful.
I'll Salt Bay it for you.
But look at those scores. Anything that jump out to us, anything that we're like, oh, damn, or like, oh, yeah, let's go.
All of you, except maybe Tim, hating on the Patriots. Get out of here. Look at that win. Look at that.
Statement win.
That is a statement win. And granted, Baker's a little beat up, but that defense isn't a defense to joke with. So putting up 45 with a rookie quarterback and like receivers that aren't big name receivers, I hope we can keep it up. But I think this is a really, really good sign of things to come for me.
Yeah, I think so too. Cleveland, they spanked Cincinnati and then they turn around and get spanked. I was truly shocked. I gotta apologize to Patriot Nation and Jake right there. I thought Cleveland started to roll, and then nope. Bill Belichick and his son, I was all over that.
Bill Belichick tends to do that to teams that he used to coach. I mean, he was with the Browns for a little bit. The only team that he doesn't really do that to is the Giants. So,
yeah, exactly.
The Giants ever.
No, I'm totally with you. And Fitz, man, people love roasting you on YouTube comments. Athletic Geek, Evan should have stuck with that Panthers decision.
Oh man,
you flip flop back and forth.
You know, I did, and that was all before the Cam Newton news came in too, wasn't it?
That is true.
And I was so concerned about quarterback. I was like, I just don't know if PJ Walker's the guy. No, and I was gonna say that was probably the coolest moment of the week. Superman returns, and you know, I'd like to see Cam run the show, but PJ Walker had a phenomenal game. So
yeah.
Panthers, I props to them. They've got a pretty favorable matchup this coming week, and I can't remember who they're playing, but
the Redskins.
Or Washington. TBD.
Sorry.
Yeah, but that's right. That's a good matchup. We'll get into that. But Washington also, you know, their season's kind of on the ropes. They got to go against Tampa Bay and Taylor Heineke. How about just milking out the clock? I think they got the ball with like 11 minutes and they didn't give Brady the ball back. They just ran down the clock on a really methodical drive. So Taylor Heineke, you know, shout out to them, and Riverboat Ron's got that team heading in the right direction. So really two guys going at it, Washington and Carolina next week, trying to save their season, and I'm excited. And Riverboat against his former team could be cool.
It's going to be good. Chase Young done for the season, though, torn ACL. Hate to see that. You know, Joe Burrow, who, you know, Cincinnati was torn. Do we take Burrow? Do we take Chase? Both come out with torn ACLs within their first 2 years. I hate to see it. I hope Chase Young has a speedy recovery. He's one hell of a player to watch. But yeah, Cam Newton's back, baby. Love to see it.
Yeah, and then the three other games there, obviously my Packers shutting out Russell Wilson. That defense is just flying all over the field. Just need offense to start clicking again. But how about Kansas City? Patrick Mahomes finally putting on a performance that, you know, is what we're used to seeing, like 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. And then the Rams, everyone talking about how they're Super Bowl bound, signing Von Miller. They signed OBJ. And Shanahan basically just said, nah, we still own you. And so shout out to the Niners that they're trying to save their season as well. So yeah, just a lot. It's wide open. You know, halfway through the season, I feel like we're just seeing it every week. It's wide open. No one's really taking it. And it's one of the most exciting seasons I've seen in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And the internet stays undefeated. The OBJ memes have been on point since Monday night. I mean, Dad's already getting the film ready. Hey, you got an Instagram account? Like, he's ready to tag him. Like, amazing material. Internet, you stay winning. Tim, anything stick out to you?
I was just going to touch base on Stafford and Odell. As soon as the trade went through, we have a group text going, and I thought Devin was trolling us because he said Odell to the Rams. And I called it. I said, that's it. Like, my boy Stafford cannot get a Super Bowl. Like, he was getting so close. But the bad luck followed him. You can take the man out of Detroit, but you can't take Detroit out of the man. And it's like, and it's the first drive, and you see it, and they force feed Odell, and it clearly didn't work, and it's just like, oh, it's all crumbling. Oh gosh, I just want the guy to at least make a Super Bowl appearance for as much crap as he's been through.
He deserves it. He absolutely does. And speaking of memes, I saw this one. I had to throw it on here. Cam Newton coming back with the Thanos. You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you back to me? God, the internet, just what a wonderful place. Wonderful cesspool of just nastiness and memes. I love it.
Can we do Spud the Stud here or Stud the Spud?
Yeah, I was gonna go up and down, but we can jump to Spud to Stud. Let's do it.
Can I go first?
Absolutely. Let me pull up the
Okay, so
graphic.
I have a Spud to Stud kind of on the lookout. I have two.
I love that graphic. And Cam!
I change it every week.
So my Spud to Stud, watch out for Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. They're getting their act together in Philly. It may not be this year, but Philly's going to be dangerous in a few years. My Stud to Spud, sorry, Tim, Kelly Stafford. What the actual hell? She threw a pretzel at a fan. Which, I mean, I'm sure I would have done the same thing. But homegirl, you have the perfect family. You have the perfect husband. You guys are so supportive of each other. He was so supportive of you. And in return, you throw pretzels.
That's straight up Detroit.
Right? It is Detroit. It's very Detroit. If she were still in Detroit, I'd be like, okay. You know, it's kind of like booing Santa Claus. You throw pretzels at people. But you're in LA now. You know, maybe she's
funny you mentioned that
for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills now, and that's how her audition tape.
Actually, I heard she was friends with Brittany Mahomes.
Today, but I saw that I was like, no, not Kelly Stafford, and I was like, oh, Kelly Stafford.
There's rumors that I saw that we were actually going to try out for quarterback. Now that we saw her arm,
I like it.
So it's funny, Jay Gray, your Stud the Spud is a Stafford. Mine's her husband Matthew. So so Matt Stafford. You just gotta look at the numbers here. So he was sacked 7 times in their matchup. So between the Titans and the Niners, he's been sacked 7 times. That doubles the amount of times he's been sacked all year. So I don't know what's happened the past 2 weeks, but he's thrown less for 300 yards in both games. Only 1 touchdown thrown in both games and 2 interceptions in back-to-back weeks. So it's not looking good for the Rams. You know, it's definitely a speed bump, and you know, it's a good Titans team and the Niners, but they're supposed to run away with it. So for an MVP candidate, what it looked like, it's not so much for me at this point. But Spud the Stud, I'm glad you got Cam up there. That might have to be the Spud the Stud this week. But also, as I mentioned, Patrick Mahomes, you know, he's looking like himself again, and I think the Chiefs are gonna somehow, despite not playing great football, they can lead that division. So I think they could really resurge here. But yeah, those are my 2.
Yeah,
my pick for Stud to Spud has got to be Russell Wilson. And I get it. Like, he had a index finger or a finger injury, and he's been out for a few weeks. And it's so interesting to see, I guess, how people just assumed that he was going to come back and just like start torching it again. And I guess at the NFL level, we're so used to seeing athletes do that, of just like Saquon last season. Come back from, like, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks from a high ankle sprain, and I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh, and he just crushes it. But then you get like athletes like Russell Wilson do this, so he was definitely my Stud to Spud. I actually have another Stud to Spud, and it's really all the Green Bay Packers fans. Where do they get off? Because, you know, they're a bunch of jerks, and they buy pseudo stock that they can't even do anything with. So they're spuds, all of them, every bit of them.
Tim, were you trying to set him up earlier before we went air? Hey, did you buy some ownership there? You were trying to set him up.
I was going to see if he was taking the bait, and he didn't, so I couldn't rag on him.
Oh, Lord. Matthew Stafford was my stud to spud. But then I started thinking, like, is there some injuries on the O-line? Is there some miscommunication? Because a lot of those sacks, going back and watching them, not 100% his fault. And he's not the most mobile guy. We know that. And I just wonder how much is that his fault compared to his O-line, running backs not picking up blitzes. But obviously, spud to stud, Cam Newton, he's back. I love to see him. He's happy. Not a big Panthers fan, but just love to see Cam back. We've all talked about he's better than the 11 through 22 quarterbacks that are in the league right now. Like, he can go start for a majority of teams, and he's been working his ass off, and I'm glad he's back. And then another one, 49ers. Where the hell they come from? Deebo Samuel. Get the chain out, young man. Flex on him. He's had a silent season. All of a sudden, he's here, baby. I love to see it.
It's crazy to think through at this point in the season, as far as fantasy football numbers, the top 3 receivers are Deebo Samuel, Tyreek Hill, and Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek, obviously, very good, but everyone's sleeping on Cooper Kupp and Deebo.
Debo's always been very consistent. But a fun fact, just because I have the app, the Panthers tickets 2 weeks ago, when they played the Patriots, around this time, the tickets were like $70 to $80 for 2. For the Redskins game this upcoming weekend.
Washington.
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
Hey.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
I'm out.
Okay, Washington game. I'm about to get kicked off. It's okay. The Washington game this week, the cheapest ticket you can find on this app that I have, $157.
Wow. It's just amazing.
It's the Cam Newton effect in Charlotte.
Yeah. That's right. I hope they start spelling everything the way Cam spells things on Instagram.
It's everywhere.
All right. Let's move to our up and down list. AFC. Titans on the way up. They somehow keep improving, keep winning games, even without King Henry. Mahomes, Chiefs, they seem to be back. They're having fun again. I haven't seen as many TikToks coming for the Mahomes family, so maybe that's a good thing. And then Jaguar, your Pats. I mean, they are lighting things up, shutting down Cleveland. I'm excited to see what Bill and Mac Jones does. On the way down, the entire AFC North took an L, minus the Bengals because we're on a bye week. Thank God. But all 3 other AFC North teams take an L and a bad L. Raiders continue their downward spiral. And then Chargers, they can't find an identity. NFC, Cowboys, Vikings, Panthers, all the way up. Rams, Bucks, and Seattle on the way down here. And I know you're probably looking at Tampa like, come on, it was one game. They didn't look good at all. Washington, Tampa, on paper, Tampa should have ran away with that one, but they didn't. Anything I get wrong or right on this list?
I don't like that Tampa's in the down still. I think they are in the middle simmering. I also think the Eagles are in the middle simmering. If they win, I think they play the Giants this week. If they win convincingly, then they should definitely be in the up column, and look out for that next Cowboys-Eagles game. It will be in Philly. It will be cold, and there will be snowballs thrown at Santa Claus. So get there.
That's true. And Philly plays New Orleans this week.
I like it. That'll be a game that'll really show, how good they actually are.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Fitz, Tim?
No surprise.
I think your list is pretty good. I'm trying to decide if the Saints should be on there or not, trending down. I don't know yet. I feel like Sean Payton has been, whatever's been thrown at him, like I think Kamara was out last week.
Mm-hmm.
Like they try to keep it competitive, and some games they surprise you, but I don't know. With Jameis gone, it just isn't the same team.
Yeah. They're in that middle simmering, like Bucks and Saints. I could have put either one there. I went with Tampa because, you lost to Washington. Come on.
Who did the Saints play last week?
They played the Titans. Lost by 2, 23-21. So.
Oh, no, you can't put them trending down against the most underrated team in the AFC.
That right. You can't. So.
No.
But yeah, they're definitely in that middle right there, though. Be curious to see what they do this week against Philly. Anything else? Cool. Well, Fitz, this is your baby, so I'll let you take it away here.
Yeah. We got any graphics for this, or we just
Oh yeah,
diving
we got
in?
graphics, baby.
Okay. Let's start by talking. I run through the main awards. So MVP, defensive MVP, rookie of the year, defensive rookie, and then coach and comeback player. So I've even been holding back some Cam thoughts just based on knowing comeback player and stuff like that. But teasers. Let's talk MVP. I think right now it's very interesting because usually at this point there are some front runners, like especially there's usually a quarterback on a winning team that's running away with it. And maybe that would have been Kyler Murray if he didn't get hurt or didn't lose to the Packers, either one. But right now, I think it's Brady, Stafford, and Lamar Jackson, and then an asterisk next to Kyler when Kyler returns. But I think those are your 4 QBs. And then you have at running back Jonathan Taylor. That again, could have been Derrick Henry, but he got hurt. So Jonathan Taylor is your running back that could sneak in there, and then Cooper Kupp, and I'll talk about Cooper Kupp probably in a minute. Actually, let's just jump right in with Cooper. So Kupp right now, he's on pace to beat Megatron's receiving yards record. That Cooper Kupp, especially with the extra game this year, Cooper Kupp's on pace. He could be the first player in NFL history to have 2,000 receiving yards. On top of that, he's got 85 receptions and 10 touchdowns. So never in the history of the NFL has a wide receiver won the MVP. But if anyone's going to do it, it could be Cooper Kupp this year. And again, because there's not a QB front runner, because Mahomes is struggling or his team's struggling, even though he's putting up some crazy numbers. And some of these guys at the top, they're not really that dominant. So it could open up for Kupp. So I'm keeping an eye on Kupp and hoping he performs. But who do you guys honestly think? Who's your MVP at this point in the season?
Yeah, when I look at it, I got to think of what would happen to this team should that player not be there. And you're seeing it unfold with Tennessee losing Henry. Of course, they pick up Adrian Peterson, who's an incredible running back, a very experienced running back, but they're still dominating, kind of riding on the back of their defense for momentum, but still sticking in there with offense. And you honestly got to look at everything that I still think you got to go with Jackson in this, despite the fact that he's lost a few games. He lost his top 2 running backs before the season started. And Baltimore is still, for the most part, hanging in and winning games when they need to. So I don't think you can look past Lamar and the talent that he has and his leadership right now with that team. And also, asterisks with Kyler Murray, we've seen how his team's performed without him. It'll be interesting to see how his team performs, how much of an impact he just has on that team when he returns.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think I agree with that. I think Lamar, just based on how he's had to carry his team, and Lamar's actually had a lot of moments. He's had more MVP moments than any player this year. Like he's had those late fourth quarter wins. Right now I think it is Lamar, but I do think if Kyler returns and if he comes back and the Cardinals don't lose another game, he's gonna take it without question. So that's, I think those are 2 things. The other thing is Brady. Like Brady, just his age kind of gives it to him. It's almost like every year when LeBron's in the MVP conversation, it's just like, okay, like we get it, Brady, you're just better than everybody, So I feel like if Brady, even if Tampa finishes strong and he's got good numbers, Brady could easily take it as well. But yeah.
Tim, anybody come to mind? You're muted. Sorry.
I am really tired of quarterbacks. Like I get the fundamental purpose of a quarterback and their importance. But when you have like a receiver like Cooper Kupp, who's potentially breaking records, like how can you not connect that? Like it annoys me how people what I've briefly saw is that, oh, well, Cooper Kupp will win Offensive Player of the Year. No, like he needs to win MVP, in my opinion, if he hits that milestone, because that has never been done. And the fact that he hits that milestone shows you how useful he is to that team. And so I don't know. I get rid of the quarterback talk. Like, let's get it to a running back or a receiver. And I mean, Cooper Kupp, the numbers are showing right now. So I hope he makes the distance. It's gonna be great. Just give it to the man.
Yeah, well, Tim, I was thinking, the last time I remember a receiver really being in the conversation of MVP was Antonio Brown. That he really had two. It was 2014 and 2015. He had back-to-back years of just putting ridiculous receiving numbers, like on all categories, and it was just like he is clearly the best at his position. The Steelers are relevant. But 2014, they gave it to Rodgers and the Packers because Rodgers had put up, I think he had the record QBR in a season. And then 2015 was Cam Newton. It was the 15-1 Panthers, and it was just Cam's just carrying this team. So again, that's where I lift up the records are so important that I think if all these teams are 12-5 or 11-6 or 13-4, it actually gives a chance where it's the Rams are 13-4 and Kupp's got these numbers.
Yeah.
So
no, that's true. Yeah. There's one name you forget. Josh Allen. He actually leads the Vegas favorites.
No, he does not. Are you serious?
To win. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
Vegas has Josh at plus 200, Brady at plus 400, Dak, who no one said, plus 700. Sorry, Florida Score Sports and those boys. And then Stafford actually plus 900. He actually took a dip. A lot of quarterbacks. I mean, you look at the top 12, 13, 14. Top 14 are all quarterbacks. Then Jonathan Taylor, then Kupp, then Zeke. So, quarterbacks rule the game. If you got a good quarterback, you're going to win typically. You got a mediocre, good luck. And that's just the way the game is. And Tim, I'm with you. You're sick of quarterbacks, but that's the way the game's played. You need a franchise, dynamic, top-of-the-line quarterback.
Fun fact, a wide receiver's never won the MVP, but a kicker has won the MVP before. 1982, Washington's kicker won the MVP. It's crazy.
That is awesome.
It's like one of the craziest things that ever happened.
Love it.
Jump to defense. Defensive MVP. I don't have a ton of information on this, so Hacky, you'll have to help me out. But I think it's TJ Watt, Marcus Golden, and Trayvon Diggs. And I think for Watt, it's just that he is single-handedly winning ball games. he is carrying that defense. Marcus Golden, I think he might be our sack leader at this point, or at least he's up there. And then Trayvon Diggs is actually going for NFL record. He's got 8 interceptions halfway through the season, going for Night Train Lane's 14 interception record. And really just keep an eye on, I don't know if he'll get 14 picks. It's very hard to do. But even if he gets 3 more picks this season, he's the first player since 1981 to record 11 or more interceptions in a season. So Trayvon Diggs just really putting up the numbers there.
Absolutely. TJ Watt, he's up there as well. I didn't put him on my graphic, but 2 other names you mentioned or didn't mention.
Yeah, those are
Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald. So looking at Vegas odds, Myles Garrett plus 300, Trayvon Diggs plus 400, TJ plus 500, and Aaron Donald plus 1,000.
Yeah, mine's TJ Watt at this point.
I can't do it, but I see why.
3 things. Myles Garrett did not touch a rookie quarterback, and the Patriots scored 45 points against them. Get out of here, Myles Garrett.
Get him out.
Add him to your graveyard. You can't. 2, I think Trayvon Diggs will get to 14 interceptions easily. He plays Philly again. He plays New York again. He'll get to 14 interceptions for sure. I like Trayvon Diggs to win this. But 3, one that you're leaving out, and this is very biased because these are the games I watch. Matt Judon for the Patriots. He could be comeback player. He could be whatever. I actually don't know if he was injured, but he didn't have a few good years in, I think, Detroit. I'm really sorry. But he didn't. But he's playing really, really well and taking some leadership hold in New England, and is doing it very much so under the radar. If he continues on the trend he's on, by the end of the year, he could be in that conversation. But I'm going to give it to Trayvon Diggs. I think he's going to get at least 14. I think he could break the record. He's on pace too, and I think with the opponents that he has coming up and the opponents he has coming up, I think he'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim?
I'm with Jenny on this one. We all know the importance of turnovers and its effect on the outcome of the game. And I mean, if you're on pace to break the record for getting turnovers on defense, like, that's a pretty valuable player you want to have. So it pains me to say it because he plays for Dallas, but I'm going to have to go with Diggs.
By the way, For the Score Sports, all of Dallas really wants you and Jay Gray to apologize to them. Just the trash talk you gave Dallas.
No, my mom's from Philly. I grew up in Philadelphia in my household. There's no way I'm apologizing to Dallas. This is the best apology you're going to get. Me giving respect. Still hate him, but I respect him.
I neither respect or like the whole organization. Sorry, you'll never.
But you respect Trayvon Diggs, though.
Yes, as a human and a player.
Yeah,
but not for who
not as a Cowboy.
For. Yes.
Okay. Oh Lord. Fitz, Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, Rookie of the Year. I got two right now. I think it's between two. It's Jamar Chase, Hackey's boy, and Mac Jones, Jay Grace. So I think you could argue maybe Trevor Lawrence, but I think it's between these two at this point in the season. Obviously, Devonta Smith starting to come on as well, but no, Jamar he's the guy. Looked like he was on pace to put up Randy Moss rookie record numbers, and he's kind of slowed off a little bit, but he could get up there in yards. So NFL records that are kind of in his range, he could be in the 1,400 yard category for wide receiver, which Jefferson did for Minnesota a year ago, and the record is 1,473 yards by a rookie. And then the touchdown record, Randy Moss, is 17 touchdowns. Jamar has 7 right now, and he was on pace earlier in the year, but he's kind of fallen off. And then this is interesting. So Mac Jones, I looked at his QBR right now. So for the season, his QBR is 97.24 on average. And if he stays where he's at, he would be 6th all-time for rookie quarterbacks behind Ben Roethlisberger at 5, Herbert at 4, Russell Wilson at 3, RG3 at 2, and Dak has the first ever. But it's all, I think it's like 105 is the record by Dak or something like that. So Mac Jones could be in the conversation of one of the best rookie quarterbacks based on their QBR. So yeah, I think it's Mac Jones right now, but Jamar, if he can bounce back and put up some crazy numbers, I think he could take it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody we're missing?
I've got one person to add to it. Not Aaron Donald. Kyle Pitts.
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
An outside dark horse there, playing tight end, wide out, kind of a little different. But he's been put up some great numbers. But yeah, this thing is a two-headed race. Looking at the Vegas odds, Jamar Chase plus 110. Mac Jones having just one hell of the past 3-4 weeks for him has really shot up the charts. He's plus 125. And after him, it's plus 1,000, plus 3,000. So really it's a two-man race. It's Jamar versus Mac. And Kyle Pitts at plus 3,500 outside looking in. But just a name I had to throw in there.
I think Kyle Pitts will be a household name eventually. I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year this year, unfortunately. He has the talent to. Mm-hmm. He has the drive to. He should, but I don't think it's going to happen. Mac Jones still plays Buffalo twice. So that's where I'm going to leave that. That's going to take some strain there. You know, he's going to go up against the Vegas favorite for MVP right now. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be really the make or break, I think, for Mac. should Mac not win any of those games against Buffalo, I think it goes to Chase.
Yeah.
I gotta stick with my guns here and go with Jamar Chase. Mac Jones is playing really well, but he also has a very solid squad around him, and it's like the perfect storm when you think of like a rookie quarterback. But I think I don't know. I just like Jamar Chase better, and I don't have any other in-depth detail than that. So I'm going Jamar Chase.
It's just funny because I think if you would have asked week 5 or week 6, I think everyone would still be on Jamar Chase. But just in the past 3 weeks, it's really shifted to Mac Jones. So
Yeah.
I mean, anything could happen. Who knows? Kyle Pitts could put up some ridiculous numbers here at the end that we all go, oh my gosh, Kyle Pitts is the next Tony Gonzalez or something crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
But defensive rookies, real quick. Again, I've only got 2 names. I think it's right now it's Micah Parsons for Dallas. I think he's the front runner. He is just already. It's like they just dropped him in the league, and he's like, I'm ready. Like, let me, just line me up, coach. And he's making an impact. And then Baltimore, Odafe Owe. I know nothing about him, but the numbers don't lie. He's a solid rookie defensive line. So I think it's between those 2, but Micah Parsons is the front runner for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, his Vegas odds is -150. Odafe is +750. He's the next closest to him.
Jeez.
And then you got Patrick Surtain for Denver out there as a third. But yeah, I mean, this is Micah Parsons award.
Yeah. No, Micah Parsons looks like a third-year player. Like it is crazy. Dallas's defense, again, we talked about Diggs already, but Dallas's defense has been they might be the most underrated defense in the league right now. A lot of good players. Definitely a defense of the future. Coach of the year, before we do comeback player, a lot of candidates that I could see for coach of the year. And again, we're halfway through, so it's about really how you finish. But Mike McCarthy for the Cowboys, his name's been thrown around. I know, Tim. I know. It's like the biggest surprise, but his name's been thrown around. Mike Vrabel for Tennessee. Jay Gray mentioned one of the most underrated teams, probably the most underrated team in the AFC. He's getting it done without King Henry, and they've had two big wins since. And then I'm going to throw out Bill Belichick. I think Belichick needs to come into the conversation here because, this is the team that last year they were broken. They lost Brady, and he's doing it with a rookie. And I just think it is pure Belichick. It's the Patriot way. And it may be if they make the playoffs with this team, maybe one of Belichick's greatest feats. So those are my 3. Am I missing any?
I don't think so. I do love Vrabel. Vrabel is also a Patriots guy, so he's got that similar coaching stamina as Belichick. He's very much more of a character than Belichick is. He's very much more charismatic. But I thank you for throwing in Belichick. I think this is the first time we've ever been like friends.
I'm just being honest. You just don't like the truth sometimes.
No, I don't. Belichick's able to get it done. The thing about Belichick is when he has coaches leave to take other jobs, they come crawling back when they get fired. There's something about his leadership with coaches that he plays to the coaches' strengths and allows the coaches to showcase their strengths, but something behind the scenes is happening where he has just a little bit of touches in every single aspect of the game that make it perfect. The only coach I think that you're holding out that I do think needs to be considered is Harbaugh in Baltimore.
Yes, I thought about him.
Harbaugh, with what Baltimore has lost with injuries, and just kind of I can't get it out of my brain. Him being a player's coach, pulling the microphone to the side, asking Lamar Jackson if he wants to go for it. That's huge for a coach to show that much trust in your players. I think you can't get past that. And I would throw Harbaugh's name in there as well.
You know, it's crazy. He's not even mentioned on the Vegas odds. He's not even a top 12 candidate, which it's dumbfounding. There's one name that you're missing. Before we get there, can we just rewind the clock about a year ago when I said Mike McCarthy is going to do really well in Dallas, and Tim and Fitz laughed me off the podcast. They said, there's no way. He's going to stink. He's going to suck.
This
Joke's
is
on you
true.
guys.
This is true.
I stand by my words.
Well, eat it. One more name. Cliff Kingsbury over in Arizona. Dude looks like a model. Game plan's like a John Madden out there. Dude's crushing it. Yes, he's got a lot of talent around him, but you've got to throw him in the conversation. In Vegas odds, he's top 3.
I don't like it. You've seen how they've done without Kyler. I don't like it.
I mean, Colt McCoy compared to Kyler. Come on.
I like Vrabel here, and it's for that reason, Jenny. It's we talked about Derrick Henry possibly being MVP. Okay, he's out for the season, and we still see them, rolling train on these good teams, and it's almost like, okay, well, how much of this was actually Derrick Henry being just a freak, and like how much is this actually the coaching and the schematics and the game plan behind each game. And I think I got to give it to Vrabel at that point. You lose an MVP potentially, and you're still winning. So in my eyes, that's Vrabel.
Yeah.
Can I point out something else about Vrabel really quick before we move on?
Please.
I have never seen a coach, an NFL coach, walk out for every single injury. Vrabel walks out for every single injury. It does not matter if you're the walk-on that got pushed up because practice team that got pushed up because someone was sick that morning. He's going to walk out if you cramp up. He's going to walk out if you Kevin Ware. It doesn't matter. He's going to be there, and he's going to be the first one asking you if you're okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Vrabel he's down for the boys. I think he's a player's coach. I mean, he gets in with the drills with them. He's butting heads with them, getting after their ass. I love it. Mike is my pick too. Yeah, Vrabel's my pick.
And then last category, comeback player of the year.
Oh, I don't have a graphic for that.
Not
sorry.
Super Bowl. What?
I thought we were doing Super Bowl favorite. Sorry, comeback player of the year.
We can do
All right.
Super Bowl flavor, but
no. We'll save it for next week.
I just thought of because of Cam. Cam's the immediate person you think of, even though he's probably not going to win it. He's the immediate comeback Cam, but I think it's between Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow at this point. And it's a tough two. I could go either way with both of those guys.
Dak's ankle was perpendicular to his body last year. I don't like Dallas. I don't like Dak. I respect how he's playing this year. Dak deserves it.
Maybe. I don't know. I think with Burrow, it was like I don't think anybody gave the Bengals a chance. And everyone thought Burrow's career was just done. I don't know if I felt that way with Dak. I was like, he'll be back. Probably did though. It was very similar with both of them. But I kind of like Burrow. But they've fallen off just a tad. But I could see the Bengals bouncing back and them giving it to Joey B.
Yeah, give me Joey B on this one. He's I mean, for the points you just mentioned, Evan, when he came into the start of the season, I think Parker was on the train and I was hyping the train just because sucky teams got to stick together. But he's done really well this year. And looking at, I guess, the injuries, I'm not saying it's easy to come back from either of those injuries. And Dax was certainly a little more grotesque. But
this was the worst. Was this the worst team in football last year? Who had they were one of the worst records.
Cincinnati? Yeah.
Yeah.
Both were.
Yeah.
Both were.
I can't remember.
Both were pretty bad, but in my opinion, the Dallas didn't have an excuse. They had a lot of talent on their roster. And Joey came back. They had some great free agency signings, and he's just slinging it. And he's kind of cooled off a little bit, but I think he's going to have a bounce back end of the season. I'm giving it to Joey.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm torn here. Like, obviously, bias wants to say Joey B, give it to him. And then I look at the stats. Joey B leads Dak in every major stat except for touchdowns. They're tied at 20 apiece. Interceptions, Joey B has thrown less interceptions than Dak. But it's a close race here. Dak has the better record. So it depends on how you want to look at this thing. I've got to go with Joey B. I mean, I got a signed helmet back there. I've got to give shout out to the boy there. But it's close. I mean, depending on what this next couple of weeks do is really going to shape out everything. Should we move into pick'ems? Cool. We'll do speed round pick'ems here, fast and in a hurry. But that's how we like
Furious.
it. That's right. We're family. All right. New England, Atlanta, 47.5 is the under. New England, 7-point favorite. What do we say?
Patriots.
Yeah.
New England.
Give my coach of the year, Bill Belichick, Patriots.
Yeah. Give me my hoodie. I'm cutting the sleeves off. Let's go New England. Saints, Philly. We've talked about this matchup a lot already. Philly, 1.5-point favorite. This probably could swing back to the Saints' way, depending on how Vegas books it.
Eagles.
Saints. Jameis with crutches, one leg, and let's do it.
I'm taking Philly, and I think for the reasons Tim said about Jameis earlier, they're just not the same. They're just not the same team without him. So, fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, I'm curious when the Saints will switch to Taysom Hill as quarterback. That could change things for him, but as right now, give me Philly. Yeah, they're trending on the right direction. Fins, Jets. This is got to be the game no one gives a shit about, but Miami, 3-point favorite.
I think this is probably one of the most intriguing games of the week, honestly. I'm going to take the Jets.
I'm going the Fins.
You know, Brian Flores in that defense. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins have looked pretty dangerous recently. They beat the Ravens. That's a huge win for them. They had an extra couple of days to prepare for them. Flacco back in the start. White sitting the bench. Wilson still out with an injury. Fins, baby. Let's go Dolphins. Game that Fitz is locked in here. Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay, 2.5-point favorite. Traveling to Skull Country.
This one's tough. I think I'm going to go Green Bay.
Tie.
Wouldn't be the first time. I was undecided all day. It's at US Bank. Minnesota's pretty desperate. And Minnesota, I think their schedule's shaping up. Again, they've been in every single game this season. I think they could win. I think they could win 6 of their last 8 if they win this one. Even if they lose this, I think they win 5 of their last 8 games. I'm taking Minnesota. I think it's a game that they come out on all cylinders, and this great Packers defense may need a dose of humble pie if we're gonna make a run. But great game, one of the most exciting matchups between these two teams, and I'm gonna take Minnesota.
This is something you talked about before. Last time Green Bay won the Super Bowl, it was behind their defense. That defense was stout. This defense is stout. I don't see Minnesota standing a chance. Kirk Cousins, you like that? You can't say that with his face in the dirt. I think that pass rush gets after him. Houston, Tennessee. Tennessee, 10-point favorite. Tyrod Taylor. Maybe he can get some magic. I don't know.
Tennessee.
I think Variable's going to suit up for this one. Tennessee.
Titans are 2-0 without King Henry. I think they move on to 3-0 without their guy. So go Titans.
Yeah, I think they had a little gut punch last Sunday going against the Saints. They had to kind of fight in there and stay in the fight. Tyrod just didn't look like he was back in his groove yet. Give me the Titans, but I think Tennessee covers. I think they keep it within 7. Detroit coming off that tie, baby. Cleveland coming off the L. 2 quarterbacks on the way down here. Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield. Futures do not look bright for him. Cleveland, 10-point favorite, though.
Sprinkling it for you, Tim. Detroit.
This is it. This is our actual win. This is it. I'm going Detroit, 100%.
I think Chubb is due for a monster day. against the Lions defense. I'm all in on the Browns.
Now, Chubb is a big question mark. We're not sure if he's playing or not. I think he's out listed on fantasy right now, which that changes left and right.
Well, it's COVID.
Yeah. And so he needs those 2 negative tests. We'll see if he plays. Ooh, that could spell trouble. But on the flip side, DeAndre Swift, slicing up defenses. Give me a tie. I like it.
That's the second tie.
It's not a loss.
Oh, man.
Ravens, Bears, Baltimore 5.5 point favorite.
Ooh, I like this one. My heart really wants to go with Chicago, but I'm going to take the Ravens. I don't think they lose 2 in a row.
Ravens.
I'll have this game on as it features my 2 keeper league quarterbacks, Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson. Pretty fun showdown. I'm going to take the Ravens, though.
Imagine this matchup in maybe 2 more years. Fields could be real dangerous. Lamar just peaking. Man, that could be magical. But this year, it's Matt Nagy and the Bears. Come on, get them out of here. Give me the Ravens. They don't lose 2 in a row. There's no way. Colts, Bills, this game. Colts, man, they need this thing. Bills, they need this thing. Buffalo, 7-point favorite.
It's in Buffalo. They're going to put the Colts through a table. The Colts don't know how to play outside. So, Buffalo.
Colts.
Yeah, this is a playoff matchup. I'm going to take the Bills, but curious to see how the Colts can handle Josh Allen and the offense. I'm going to take, Bills.
Carson Wentz has been looking pretty decent. Jonathan Taylor been dicing that thing up. It's supposed to be 46, probably drop in the mid-30s. It's going to be rainy. Give me the under. Give me the Bills by 10. Bungles, Raiders, Cincinnati 1-point favorite.
I think this one's a toss-up. I think it's going to be obviously very close. I'm going to take Cincinnati coming off the bye.
Yeah, we're going Bungles.
Yeah, I'm going to take Joey B, comeback player of the year.
Yeah, this is 2 quarterbacks I love to watch. Carl, we talked about last week. He's a locker room guy. He's all in. He's about family and love and teammates. I love it. Joey B, he's a competitor. He's going to go out there and compete. I don't like us traveling to the West Coast. Where's the Bengals? Hooday, let's go. Washington, not the R word. Going against Carolina Panthers. Carolina 3.5-point favorite. What do we say?
I think you should just bleep me out every time I say that. Like going and just bleep over me. I'm going to take the Panthers. Cam, first game in Carolina, first game in Charlotte. Sorry, Riverboat, you're not getting your win. The Panthers are going to come out and win.
Panthers.
I want it to be Panthers so bad, but I do worry against Riverboat Ron. Ron knows Cam Newton probably better than any other coach. So I'm taking Washington, sadly. I think it's I love fairy tales, but there's a thing called reality. And I think the reality is the Washington football team is starting to get their stuff together. And Cam has been out of the game a little bit. So I'm taking Washington, although I'm going to be ecstatic if Cam Newton pulls off a win.
Ron returns to Charlotte. Cam returns to Charlotte. This is going to be good. I think Cam is fueled by that home crowd. I think Washington needs Chase Young. They need an anchor on that defense. They don't have him. Give me Superman. And I think they get it done. But I'm watching that game a little bit. I hate watching Panthers games, but that one I'll watch. Cowboys, Chiefs. I don't know what the hell happened to my graphic. Sorry. Kansas City, 2.5-point favorite. Wideouts over there. What do we say?
Man, this is the game nobody gives a shit about.
Are you kidding me?
Just kidding. Joking. I'm taking
best
Kansas
game of the
City.
week.
I don't like Dallas, and that's the only reason. It's also in Arrowhead as it looks here. So I'm going to take Kansas City. I think they're going to start riding that win train. Mahomes looks a little bit happier.
I think at one point in the game, Mahomes is going to sidearm it, and it's actually going to hit McCarthy in the head. And it might actually set the Dallas Cowboys straight a little bit. So I'm going Chiefs by 100.
Golly, I'm so torn on this game. I just cannot decide. I would love, when I'd love it. I could see the Chiefs just making a statement and this be the game that everyone's like, "Oh, the Chiefs are back." And oh man, did they make the Cowboys look silly. But I could also see this as a statement game for the Cowboys defense. And oh man, this defense and these Cowboys are for real too. So I don't know. I think it's a great matchup. I could see both teams blowing it, and I could see both teams really dominating. So I think this could be the makings of a really good game, a classic if Matt were on here. But I'm gonna take the Cowboys and trust that defense.
Yeah, you got Micah Parsons versus Mahomes there. Mahomes getting a little energy to him, a little life. This is a toss-up. This really is. This is going to be one hell of a game. I'm glued to my TV for it. Sorry, babe. Got to watch the game here, right? One of those moments. Claudia will whoop my ass if I say that to her. But, Kansas City, they're 3-7 against the spread. There's not a lot of wiggle room for them. 2.5 points. That means they've got to win by a field goal. Money's calling. I got to pick up. Give me the Cowboys to get done on the road. Kansas City does not cover. San Fran, Jacksonville, San Fran -6 favorite. Tim, are you all right there?
Yeah, I'm just sad.
Sorry. What do we say?
Trevor Lawrence gets his third win, right? Third win? Let's go.
Third win.
Give me the 49ers.
Dear God, you need it.
I know.
I was about to say I need an upset pick. I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence and the Jags.
I think 49ers are rolling. They're hot right now. The damn Hansel's so hot right now. Give me the 49ers. They get it done.
It's a great movie.
Cardinals, Seahawks. These damn graphics. Arizona, 2.5 point favorite. What do we say?
Taking Arizona, banking on Kyler being back. He's trending positively right now. So, Arizona.
In Seattle, Russ's return. I think Seattle's electric for this one, and I think the Seahawks bounce back.
Yeah, I think Russ got a little more wind in him. But Kyler Murray, if he plays, man, they're going to need this thing. I'm bringing out the nunchucks. Give me him, baby. Give me Kyler Murray if he plays. Game over. Cardinals win. Steelers, Chargers, Watt, Bosa. 5.5 point favorite Chargers are. What do we say?
Chargers.
Yeah, I've also got the Chargers in this one.
Chargers are finding their identity. Steelers have been embarrassed on national TV because no one believes in the Lions. Steelers bounce back. They get a win here.
Rude.
It's not me. It's national TV. That's not us. We're a small regional show.
That's right.
Giants, Champa Bay. We broadcast globally. That's all. Champa, -11 favorite.
This one's really hard for me. I don't think Tom Brady loses 2 in a row, but I'm going to go with the Giants because he also doesn't know how to beat the Giants ever. So, Giants, let's go.
We'll go with the Bucks.
Buccaneers by 1 million.
This is the Giants, Jacob. You hit the nail on the head. They're the Tom Brady legend killers. This isn't Tom in New England, though. This is a little different. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for Man in the Arena, Tom Brady's new ESPN documentary. Episode 1 just dropped last night at midnight. Episode 2 coming out later, I think this weekend or next week. Man, that thing looks good. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks really good. I've heard a lot of people who are Tom haters are now Tom lovers just because of the way it painted him in episode 1. Jay Gray, you give him thumbs up. Have you seen it?
It's good stuff. I watched it while I was hall monitoring for a test today.
Nice. Give me Tom. Man in the Arena. You don't quit. Give me Tom. That's it for Pick'ems. Hey, listeners, viewers, let us know what we got right, got wrong. It's got to get better from last week, right? It has to. Pub parlay. Let's make our bets. Then we'll hit a random question. All right. Pub parlay. Matt, who's not here, P's and T's to him. His grandmother just passed away, actually. So we'll send some out. We'll pour some out here at the pub for him. But he's picking Lewis Hamilton, Formula One. That was also his spud to stud, starting, in 10th for most of the race, battling his way back to get first. So he's going to pick Lewis Hamilton for his pub parlay.
Yeah, so not only did Lewis Hamilton do that, but he also started last on the grid for the sprint race, which is 24 laps, and finished 5th. That's really impressive. All of you need to watch Drive to Survive so you can get on my level and Matt's level with F1. I was actually going to take Verstappen to win that race, but since Matt stole my thunder, well, let's put money on the Utes.
I like it. Utes. All right. We taking money line or points with them?
All outright. Utes.
Outright money line. We're going with them.
All right. Lions or the Browns. Give me the money line. Whatever that means.
You're taking them outright. All right.
Well, there goes our parlay. I'll take Brady over the Giants with the points. I think they win by like 17.
I like that one. I like that one a lot. I'm searching college football, trying to find the perfect thing. I want to take Cincinnati minus 11.5 to cover that against SMU because they need to. But that's betting with my heart. Give me Iowa State upsetting Oklahoma. Back-to-back L's for Oklahoma. Plus 150 odds. Give me Iowa State. I think they get it done. That's it for the pub parlay. Let us know what we got right, wrong. Go bet some money on it. Use my bookie. No free shout-outs. They don't pay us, but they're good dudes over there. We like Raphael a lot. Random question, Jay Gray. You got 2 for us, and I'm pumped for both.
I got 2. We'll go with the movie one. You guys can save my other one for next week. Someone just has to shout out the butt fumble for me, please.
We got it. We got you.
Nobody hates a butt fumble. Just saying. Anyway, so this week, been watching a lot of movies, and you guys tend to ask college athletes when we have them on, if anyone could play them in a movie when they hit it big, who would it be? So that's my question for you guys. Who's going to play you in a movie about you?
Man, that's a good question. Because you're right. We ask it, and then we don't ever know.
Mine would either be huge Greg Kinnear fan. He's a little older now, though. But back in the 90s Greg Kinnear would have been perfect for Evan Fitzsimmons. But I don't know. I think just looks-wise, I'd like to say I'm just a better-looking Jake Gyllenhaal.
All the Swifties are going to come after you now.
Yeah.
I was thinking for Evan. Well, I don't know. I kind of want to tell you guys.
All right, lay it on us.
All right, Parker. I think that wrestler. What's his name?
No, don't you do it.
There's a wrestler that. If there's anyone in the chat, you know who I'm talking about.
Get out of here.
Sheamus. I think he would be a great actor for you. Evan, I see a Macaulay Culkin.
No, stop.
Yes. Come on. Thank you, Jenny.
Oh, my gosh.
And you know who I saw for you, Tim? Ferris Bueller's Day Out. That guy.
Matthew Broderick?
Matthew Broderick, yeah.
Okay.
I'll take it. I'll take that to the bank.
Also, James Franco's younger brother, Tim Franco.
Did you have one for me, Tim?
I still got to think of one for you, Jay Gray. I'll come back. Circle around back for me.
Okay.
Oh, man. I was going to say, I'm going to mess up his name, but Christopher Hiju from Game of Thrones, the redheaded guy.
I love it.
Another ginger, but yeah.
I love it. I've been told I look like a young Katie Holmes, oldest Dawson's Creek Katie Holmes.
I can see that.
But if
I
I'm
see a little Anne Hathaway.
Hathaway.
And
I
in
could
there,
see Anne
yeah.
Hathaway.
I could see Anne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hathaway's kind of badass. If I'm going based off character, though, I absolutely love, and I think she'd do a really good job with me, Hilary Swank. I love Hilary
Ooh,
Swank.
That's a good one.
You ever seen the
Also,
movie One Day with Anne Hathaway?
Mhm.
Golly, that movie wrecked me.
I can't unsee the Anne Hathaway now. I think that's got to be it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fitz, they'd have to rewrite your entire story here, but I could see a little Denzel playing you a little bit.
Oh,
Denzel Washington, all right?
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
You like
rewrite your
Denzel, but you
complete
didn't like-
story.
Macaulay Culkin.
I like Macaulay Culkin.
Thank you.
Well, what's McCulkin's brother? The other one? Oh well. Jay Gray, great question. I love it. Tim, yeah, you got to be a Franco.
I was thinking more like Oscar the Grouch. That's what I was thinking. I feel like I'm a good Oscar.
Yeah, that you are. Hey, that's going to do it. Like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Go listen to us. Spread some good vibes out there in the world. The world needs it. Go bet on sports, drink some beer, and watch some sports. But we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Have a wonderful time. See ya. And I bet go well.
We got to get Jay Gray an outro somewhere.
No, bitches love